Paul du Toit is another wonderful artist, so underrated, but widely appreciated in his lifetime. He was obsessed with nature, loved the forest, he loved the open grassy plain, the rocky outcrop, the seascape. It all had its origins in searching for a teacher and a mentor to help him unravel or show himself as an artist, and this all happened in 1944 when he traveled to Worcester and met Jean Veltz, where he was apprenticed for 2 years until 1946, and he learned so much from the master Veltz. The 1950s for Paul du Toit, a very rich period of production, because he's finding his feet and he's expressing himself, I think, through the lens of Jean Veltz, and using the landscape as a vehicle to express himself. The trees, the very strong emphasis on the horizontal and the vertical, and the paint is so liquid and richly colored that it merges and bleeds from one mark into the next. In the 1960s, of course, his style starts to change too. In the 1950s, it's very much inspired by nature and a combination of rich colors and strong linear calligraphy. Landskap met Bome is a very good example of a work done in the 1950s. You'll see just how all the elements are fused together: earth, sky, water, land, in a harmonious whole. The second painting of Paul du Toit is titled Landscape, dating from 1967, is a slight departure from Landskap met Bome in that it's more fragmented, more wild, more chaotic, more dynamic. It's a fusion of overlaid, somewhat dissonant images, but the overall visual effect is, I mean, it's typically Paul du Toit, but the emotions are quite different from the works produced in the 1950s. I think the fragmentation series from the early 60s is evident in these. So these two works tell a story about the stylistic development of Paul du Toit and his beautifully quiet and sometimes not so quiet dynamic landscapes.